As a careful assessment of the interim agreements reached with government, the National Executive Committee of UTAG has resolved to indefinitely suspend the 2-month-long strike, which has actually disrupted academic activities across public universities in Ghana. And what you have now is a statement coming through from UTAG on their decision to indefinitely suspend their strike. And they have indicated on point 1 that the National Executive Committee of UTAG held an emergency meeting on Tuesday, 8 March 2022 to, among others, consider the outcome of the referenda on its decision to temporarily suspend the industrial action commenced on the 10th of January. And you may recall that the NEC of UTAG voted to temporarily suspend the strike action on Monday, 21st February 2022, to pave way for negotiations with the employer to meet some of the demands and address the concerns. And we take you to the concluding parts of the statement, actually, the very last points that we have on the statement, which talks about their decision at point 8, indicating that after a careful assessment of the referenda results, interim agreements reached between UTAG and the employer and the various branch reports, the NEC of UTAG resolved to indefinitely suspend the strike action of 10th January 2022, and that's what they're confirming to us in the statement that we have coming through from the University Teachers Association of Ghana. But first of all, we need to get some more explanations to why UTAG is taking this decision. Joining us now via phone is President of the University Teachers Association of Ghana for UCC, that's Dr. Samuel Betts Boydie-Kusi. Hello, sir. Welcome to the show. Let's start off with the decision, the referenda that you talk about. What was the outcome? The outcome initially that we got was that majority of the members of the local chapters did not really support the decision by UTAG, the NEC, to suspend the strike. So how come you were able to convince them that let's put this on hold and see what government has to do? Dr. Betts-Kusi, if you're with us, I'm trying to find out from you. Well, we seem to have lost Dr. Betts Boydie-Kusi. We'll try and re-establish the lines with him, but just coming through, and just as you have on your screens now, is the statement from UTAG indicating and communicating their position on the indefinite suspension of their labor action. Point 8 of that statement is indicating clearly that they do not want to prolong the strike, and that they would have to indefinitely put it on hold to wait and see what it is that government intends to do. And UTAG will be giving us some more updates on this. We're re-establishing the lines with Dr. Samuel Betts Boydie-Kusi, who is the UCC chapter, the president of the UTAG there in UCC. As and when we have him, we'll bring you some more updates on this latest decision that's coming through from UTAG. Let's see if we have Dr. Samuel Betts Boydie-Kusi now. Still some terrible lines there, but what you also need to be mindful of is that there was pressure mounting from the likes of the National University, National Union of Ghana Students as well. NUCS was piling pressure, asking government to act on this matter. We also heard from the student front, many of them appealing to UTAG to not to prolong the strike and to at least find some middle grounds. And then negotiations commenced with the Ministry of Education and UTAG, as well as the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission. That was after the court's ruling on the matter. Today, we understand that they were in court as well. Dr. Samuel Betts-Kusi will give us some breakdown to that. So, Doc, thanks for joining us here on The Pulse. We know that you've suspended your strike, but how were you able to convince your members who, in the majority, voted against the decision to suspend the strike?
Yeah, thank you very much, my brother. Yes, you are right. Majority of our campuses voted against the decision of the National Executive Committee to suspend the strike temporarily for negotiations to go on. But we think that largely the decision to vote against the decision of the National Executive Committee came out of the fact that our members did not trust that the employer will honor its part of the bargain. Be it as it may, You know, we suspended for 2 weeks and went into some level of discussions, negotiations at the table. Some interim arrangements were made just for the period of 2022. And so once that agreements were reached, we had to inform our members about where we had gotten to and the need for us to make some sacrifices, make some compromises, even though generally members are not happy with the kind of arrangements that have been put in place. Remember that we had this intervention from some eminent Ghanaians, including the Parliamentary Select Committee, and then other eminent Ghanaians, former President Kufuor, the Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Sam Jonah, and others. And I mean, in all these discussions, there was that acknowledgement that we are not in too good times as a country so far as our economic situations are concerned. And so they appealed to us to make some level of sacrifice, make some compromises. And so that is the kind of message we conveyed to our members after the negotiations or after the discussions with the employer. And we NEC is of the view that given that we have all these challenges and all these appeals coming in, we needed to agree to whatever interim arrangements we have made with the view that going forward, the entire, especially coming from the Labour Conference, the entire market, the single spine salary structure will be reviewed to be able to, and then we'll expect that some level of job re-evaluation if it becomes necessary. All these things should be done to be able to properly place the lecturer well so that what is due the lecturer could be paid going forward into the future. So it's as a result of all these things that we have had to decide that we will indefinitely suspend the strike action.
So what then are we to expect? That academic activities will resume in earnest tomorrow?
Oh, I think that already academic activities are already in session since we suspended the strike action and went into the negotiation. I think for the past 2 weeks, academic activities have been in full session. So basically it's a continuation. Remember, we have suspended, we are not called off entirely. So now that it's an indefinite suspension, we believe that we expect that the entire academic year will run its full course. And so work is ongoing on all the university campuses.
How much time do you have as an association? How much time do you have to wait for government as the assurance is that your concerns will be addressed?
Well, as I indicated, some interim measures have been put in place. And there are timelines to it which all of us have agreed to. And so we want to believe that out of our own magnanimity, out of listening to the police, we have more or less fulfilled our part of the bargain by acting in good faith. We want to believe that the employer side will also act in good faith by implementing all the things that we have discussed so that we can run smoothly without having to resort to any of these industrial actions within the foreseeable near future.
Dr. Samuel Boyekuzi, I'm grateful that you've been able to join us. He is the UCC president of UTAG, giving us the latest on the decision to indefinitely suspend the strike declared by UTAG. This is The Pulse.